Hello, I'm Paul Perrello, and welcome again to the Philly Factor. Well, wherever you go these days, I think it's safe to say that Christmas is right around the corner. I think in some cases, stores have been decorating or promoting Christmas. Seems like it's July. I'm waiting for them to flip that button and start playing the Christmas music. But needless to say, as we get ready for the holidays, we all get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the holiday season. For most people, it's an enjoyable time of year. People enjoy the holidays, but there are many people who don't necessarily enjoy the holidays. Many of them are either homebound, many of them are in nursing homes, many of them are just plain forgotten by their family. That is the scenario that inspired my guest on this edition of the Philly Factor to create the Caring Kids Christmas Card program. A number of years ago, my guest, Elizabeth Ross, was a volunteer at a nursing home where she witnessed firsthand the loneliness and even sorrow that some of these people were experiencing while she volunteered at area nursing homes. They were forgotten by family and friends. Instead of experiencing the sorrow in the eyes of patients, Elizabeth decided to do something about it. And that's why she joins us here on this edition of the Philly Factor. And Elizabeth, I want to thank you for being with us on the program. And right from the get-go, thank you for your great work. This is a tremendous initiative. As I said, we all get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the holidays. And there are many people that really celebrate the holidays in their own fashion. But there are so many people that are, they dread the holidays. And in many cases, they're in nursing homes and family and friends don't come to see them. You experienced this firsthand as a volunteer.
Yes.
And that's what prompted you to develop this program.
Exactly right.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. About 12 years ago, I was doing some volunteer work over the holidays, the Christmas holidays, and I noticed that many people did not have visitors, and they seemed very sad. And as much as the staff tried to cheer them up and make things pleasant for them, it was very clear that family members and friends were not showing up for the holidays for them, and they felt it. And I asked one of the directors about that, and I said, do these people generally get visitors during the year? And she said no, and she said, in fact, they did a study of nursing homes in the United States, and only she said 60% of people living in nursing homes do not get visitors at all during the year. It is startling.
Yeah.
And 50% have no close relatives to visit them. But the holidays is a particularly tough time for them because they can turn on their TVs and see people enjoying the holiday dinners and the family gatherings and so forth. So I wanted to see if we could do something to make it a little easier and a little nicer for them.
Yeah.
And I contacted that year before the next Christmas principals at the elementary schools in the Philadelphia area and the suburbs, and I asked them if I could bring in Christmas cards for children to write messages, and the younger ones could draw pictures and to cheer people up. And I felt also the program that I would like to start and did start at that time would be a Caring Kids Christmas Card program where children would learn about other people and how they were experiencing the holidays and have empathy and allow them to put themselves in the people in the nursing homes that did not get visitors, their shoes, and experience that. And knowing that that exists, they could do something about it, and they could make Christmas cards. So I asked, the first year there, I visited the schools and told them about the program and so forth, and asked children if they had an opportunity to visit someone in a nursing home. Right. And one little girl said yes, she visited her grandmother, and she said that they were there at Christmas time, and she said it was very sad, and she felt very sad for the patients there because so many people did not have visitors. And she took it upon herself to walk up and down the hallway. She was about 8 years old, and just say hello to people and wish them a Merry Christmas. But she said she was very touched by that and very moved by that. And she said that if she ever would be in a nursing home when she got older, she would like to have someone come and give her a Christmas card and cheer her up.
It's truly amazing that even at that young age, these children can witness and experience something like this and know full well that if they were in that scenario much later in life, what they would like or what they would appreciate, if the roles were reversed,
Yes.
and that as an adult they were in a nursing home. It's amazing.
Exactly, that's
Yeah.
true. And when they were signing Christmas cards, one little boy said that he remembered his grandfather in a nursing home and visiting, and how basically sad he was too at Christmas time. And when he started to write a message on the Christmas card that he was going to have delivered to the nursing home, he wrote a phrase. He said, "God loves you and is watching over you and will always be with you. Don't be sad," and signed his name and grade. And he was, I think, in the 3rd grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Powerful. Yeah.
This initiative now that you're celebrating 13 years of doing this. What has been the reaction? I mean, when you first reached out to that first school, and said, "Hey, I have this idea, and this is what I would like to do." Do you think that some of the students in the school would be interested in sending Christmas cards to patients in area nursing homes? What was the reaction?
The reaction was very positive, and the principals that I spoke with at the time were very receptive to the idea. And it was nice that they let me come in and talk to the children about people in these situations and share with them some of the thoughts, because a lot of children didn't realize that the sadness that exists in the nursing homes. And I remember one session the children said, "We're going to make these people the best Christmas cards they've ever gotten."
Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah.
Because they're going to be very special, and they're very special to us.
Yeah.
And so they were beginning to feel that empathy for them.
I want to go step by step here through the how the process works, because people may see this and they don't necessarily have to go through Elizabeth and her organization to do this, but they might want to take it on their own. But you just can't show up at the front door of a nursing home and say, "Hey, I have Christmas cards that I would like to deliver to the patients." You really should orchestrate it in a way that the nursing home is aware of what you're doing, the school is aware of what you're doing, and even if you decide to do it on your own, I think all parties have to work together to make sure that the program is completed in a successful way. Would you agree?
Absolutely. And it's not a complicated process at all. It's just a matter of contacting a nearby nursing home or a hospital and talking to the program director or the director of volunteers, and just say that children would like to sign Christmas cards, write messages, draw pictures in the elementary school, that you decide to ask to do this. And would that be acceptable if you dropped off cards, and when would it be convenient to do that? And then if you have a child in elementary school or even in high school, you could ask their teacher if you brought in a box or two of Christmas cards, if they could sign the cards, and your younger children could draw pictures, and then they would come home with their child bring them to the parent, and then the parent could then drop them off at the nursing home. That's worked out very well. And the Christmas cards that I purchase are done, I buy them at the dollar store. So I can get a box of cards like this with 4 or 5 different types of cards, 20 in a box, 15 to 20 in a box with the envelopes. So it's very economical. So if a parent wanted to buy enough for one class, they could buy 2 boxes, 40 cards or whatever, and do that. That's been successful. Also, if your child is in a scout troop, Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, the scout leader could ask children to either bring in materials to make cards, or the scout leader might want to buy a box or 2, or the parent, and allow children to, again, sign the cards and write the messages. And this little act of kindness teaches so much to children about being thoughtful people that otherwise would be very blue and very sad over the holidays.
Yeah.
It cheers them up. And we've gotten some very good feedback from the staff from nursing homes and hospitals about how people enjoy reading the messages and looking at the pictures. And it's the charm of the old-fashioned Christmas card,
Yeah.
you know, that they like. And it brings back good memories for them. So it's a win-win situation, because not only does the child learn about empathy, but the person receiving the card feels better and is uplifted.
When you started out, 13 years ago, it may have just been maybe one school and one nursing home. So how has the program grown over the past 12 to 13 years? How many schools are involved, and how many nursing homes are you servicing with the card program?
Yeah, well, it actually did start out with just one school, my parish school, and that was kind of a test run to see if that would be something that the patients would like and the children would enjoy being involved in, and it worked out very well. We got very positive feedback from it, and then it grew as the years went on. And today I work with about 9 schools, public and parochial schools, and about 10 nursing homes, hospitals, and retirement communities. So it has expanded. Yeah.
Yeah. The kids set out then on a specific date, I guess, depending on what the school schedule is, and they sign these cards, or they draw, make their own cards. Are the cards earmarked for specific patients? I guess what I'm getting at is, there are a lot of people in nursing homes, and there are a lot of people, and it's one thing to get a card, but when that card is personalized, it makes it even more special. So do these students actually, or do the teachers personalize the envelope, so Mary or Joe, when they get the card, it's made out to Mary and Joe, and it makes it even more special for them?
Yeah, when the cards are dropped off at the nursing home, the volunteers put the names of the patients on the envelope and the inside of the card, because the envelope is not sealed.
Right.
And that personalizes it, yeah, and that's why they feel they're special, that they're getting something from children that in the community that remember them.
Yeah.
They don't feel so marginalized, so alone, and it picks up their spirits.
You mentioned before we started taping that in one case, now here these cards are being distributed in December, but one patient still had the Christmas card on their nightstand in June.
Right,
So
right.
it
Yeah.
means a lot to them.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. It means a
Becomes
lot
a
to them.
prized possession for them.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And she often said to me when I would visit her how happy she was that we were doing the program and how much the card meant to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I certainly pass that on to the students too when we get comments like that.
And we should mention that this is a program that isn't going to break the bank for sure, because like Elizabeth mentioned, you can go to the dollar store and buy a box or two. There's like 20 cards.
15 to 20 in a box.
In a
yes.
box. So, you can supply one classroom for $2.
Sure.
And you're sending out 30 to 40 cards, and that's going to a nursing home or a hospital, and it really is making a difference in that person's life. And we get so caught up these days leading up to the holiday with all the trappings and the trimming, for the holidays. And as I said at the outset of the program, we often forget about people who are marginalized, and then they sort of, they're just there, and even to have somebody to come and visit them would mean a lot. But getting a Christmas card is so important for them.
Exactly.
And when you look at it, it really is about the quality of life. It is all about making their life better. They may have years left, they may have weeks or even days left, but it really does make such an impact in the lives of these people.
That's very true. Yeah, and as Mother Teresa said, loneliness and being forgotten is the worst of all types of poverty. And how true that is. A person that does feel left out and forgotten, it's very sad for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to mention, I'll mention a few times here before we run out of time, that people can reach out to you. They can actually drop you an email at lross44@verizon.net. That's L, the letter L, Ross, ROSS 44 at verizon.net. And you can drop Elizabeth an email, and she can walk you through the steps as to what you need to do. And as I said, whether you want to do this through your local school, your local scout troop. It might be a service project, for one of your kids in school. This is a great way to celebrate the holidays and maybe even get back to what the holidays are all about.
That's
As
right.
I said, we get so caught up in all the newfangled things that we, as you mentioned, the joy of getting a traditional, people don't send Christmas cards anymore.
That's true.
If you get one, it is special because it's sort of a tradition that has fallen by the wayside.
Yeah.
But yet for these people that are, in nursing homes, in the hospital, it really does make the difference for them.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your background, and
Okay.
it makes sense that a person like you and everything you've done in the past would allow you or afford you the opportunity to come up with this type of program. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I taught in the Philadelphia public schools, in the New York public schools also, for a number of years, from junior high up through high school, and taught part-time at Holy Family University.
Okay.
And then I was a corporate trainer and had a seminar business. And from there, I still do that occasionally. From there, I had an opportunity to go into the retirement communities and offer workshops and classes and do programs also in nursing homes. And I let the residents in the retirement communities pick the topics that they wanted to know something about and discuss. And we talked about things like how to worry less and enjoy life more, how to deal with change, physical changes, changes in family situations, how to adapt to new circumstances, different types of foods that would boost their memory, how to improve their memory, different techniques like that, how to deal with some of the anxiety and stress of getting older and coping with life at a different stage in their life. I teach some simple meditation techniques, some relaxation techniques, imagery techniques to help in that process. And also chair yoga, they're interested in that. People that aren't able to be too physically active can certainly do exercises, chair yoga exercises, which are very helpful and very effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in dealing with seniors and people that find themselves in these circumstances today, what seems to be some of the more important issues that they're concerned about? We talked about the whole issue of loneliness around the holidays, but what are some of the other issues that they're concerned about these days?
I think one of their major anxieties is worry, and I think that's almost a universal problem with all of us. And it's how to cope with things that come up with their grandchildren or great grandchildren, how to deal with their adult children in different circumstances. If they have, I'm talking about retirement communities now, if they're having problems, if they're faced with a divorce or if they're faced with problems with their children, which would be the residents' grandchildren, and how to deal with that and cope with those things as they're trying to get through life and have some quality of life. And I think with people in nursing homes, their main anxiety is about illnesses that they've been diagnosed with. And I've had the opportunities to show them different exercises that they can do to relieve joint pain, for example, and different types of foods that they can eliminate that might create joint pain, and things that they can add to their lifestyle that can give them some peace of mind. Poetry, watching different types of programs, getting enjoyment like that, and getting together in small groups. I also do book clubs and bring books in for them that I get from the library or buy books for them. And we have discussions on different books that they enjoy reading. They like mysteries. They like detective books.
Really? Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
And if what I'd like is that you go in and talk to the patients and find out what it is that they want to talk about. Oftentimes, facilitators will go in with an agenda of what they want to talk about. Well, I'm going to tell you, but you've turned it around a little bit, and you go in and you sort of solicit from them what their concerns are and how you might be able to help them. It's sort of a different way of addressing some of their issues.
Yeah, I want them to be involved in the conversation, and I want them want the discussion to be meaningful for them. So if it's customized like that, where they've picked the topics, it seems to work better all the way around.
Yeah.
And I thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've learned more from them, believe me, about courage and strength under stressful conditions, health problems that they have, and many of them have such resilience to keep going on and have a very positive attitude about life. And that's one of the things we talk about too, having positive energy and a positive attitude, and how that can go a long way in making you feel better.
Yeah.
And
how has this whole experience, especially with the Christmas cards program, first of all, I'll save what has it been for you, but for the students, the kids and the teachers and the principals that participate on the other end of the equation, what has it been like for them from your experience when a kid, everybody anxiously awaits Christmas, but here's something, a tradition that has started now, thanks to you, that these kids are sending Christmas cards to people that they don't know. What has it been like for the kids that have participated in the program?
Well, I think it's been overall a very positive experience for them. And I think the main idea here behind it, the philosophy behind it, is teaching them empathy. Teaching them how it is that there are people in society that might not have the same blessings that they have. And when they do have these blessings, they can reach out and do something for someone. That can be something as simple as when a classmate is being bullied, being teased, or being shown disrespect. They can stand up and tell the bully, knock it off, and then offer some kind of comfort to the person, the victim of the bullying. And I know we've had discussions like that when I've gone back to the classrooms and talked about empathy and putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And I said, how do you feel when someone in your family, a brother and sister, have a problem? Do you counsel them in some way or talk to them in some way about it? And one little boy said, it was in the 5th grade, said that he walked by his brother's room, and his brother's 7 years old, and he heard him crying, and he went into the room, and he said, "What's the matter?" And he said, my best friend is moving, and I won't be able to see him every day. And the older brother said, "Well, where is he moving?" And he said, "Well, he's moving to this school, which was only about 5 or 6 miles away." So the older brother said, "Well, it's not too far." He said, "Mom can arrange it so that you can see him maybe on the weekends occasionally and go to his house." And he said, "But I know how you feel." He said, "Was if my best friend was moving, I would feel sad too."
Sure.
And so those kinds of empathy building experiences with brother and sister and mother and father, encouraging that brothers and sisters be that way with one another, that grows as the children grow, and different relationships. If a brother or sister is going through a difficult time when they're in high school or beyond in a marriage situation with their children, they know they can turn to a brother or sister for some empathy and some help in some way.
In the few minutes that we have left, how has this whole experience impacted you? I mean, you started on this venture 13 years ago, not sure it was going to take off or not, and here we are, touting the benefits of this program. So how has this shaped you, Elizabeth?
Well, I'm so proud of the children that participate in the program, and proud of them doing something for others. I think that's a very good lesson for them, and I'm proud of also and thankful to the teachers and the principals and the people in the nursing homes that have gone along with the program, that they're the ones that have made us a success. I appreciate that, and I'm going to put my thoughts and things down in a book. In fact, I have a draft, teaching children to be caring adults. And that way, hopefully, more parents will participate and encourage children to do acts of kindness for other people. And there's a wonderful program in the Nashville, Tennessee area, in the Archdiocese. They've incorporated a kindness campaign, because there was a lot of bullying going on, a lot of teasing, and children were stressed out because of it. And the program involves not only the students, but the teachers, the counselors, and the parents. And the whole idea is for children to, what they do is kind of clever. They give a child an envelope each day for about 6 weeks, and in the envelope is a little slip they take out, and the slip might say one kind thing to your classmate today. The next day it might be a smile at one of your classmates today. And the program has phenomenal success. In fact, the first year there was a 50% drop in bullying and teasing. So the whole atmosphere has changed in the area schools there in Nashville. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for being with us here on the program.
Well, it's
We've
my
learned so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Hopefully we can get more people involved in this initiative. It doesn't cost very much. Go to the dollar store, get 2 boxes of cards. You are well on your way. And if you would like Elizabeth's help, her email address is the letter L, ross44@verizon.net. That's lross44@verizon.net. And you would be surprised just how far a holiday greeting card goes in the life of a person, whether that person is someone you know or someone you don't know. As we heard from Elizabeth, these cards go a long way in nursing homes, and all you have to do is look in your own neighborhood. It might be around the corner, it might be across the street, it could be clear across the other side of the city, but those greeting cards go a long way, especially at the holidays. Don't get caught up in the hustle and bustle of the season. Do something. Simply reaching out to a local school, working with an area nursing home, you will make a person's life so much brighter that otherwise may not be able to enjoy the holidays. Elizabeth, I want to thank you for your great work.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure indeed.
And until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for being with us here on the Philly Factor. My name's Paul Perrello. Have a great day.